But let's move on here. Next up, we had the main event: MJF and Adam Cole, Better Than You, Baby, versus FTR. And I kind of realized it as MJF and Adam Cole were gonna come out. I was like, FTR gets booed here. I just had a feeling they were getting booed, and sure enough, man, MJF, Adam Cole come out to massive, massive pop cheers, and FTR get booed at least 50-50. You know what I mean? What'd you think of FTR getting booed here?
I mean, it's exactly what I said was gonna happen.
Yeah, it felt inevitable. It really just felt like obvious it was gonna happen.
So I mean, yeah, I just I don't know how I feel about this. The match itself was incredible, and there's a lot to love here. But like my initial walking away from this was just how fucking lame, it was.
How what?
How fucking lame it was.
Like the entire thing, or just the finish?
The finish.
Okay, that's where I'm at as well. That's what I'm at as well.
And like I'm just again because the match was great, but a bad finish can kind of ruin a match for you, and like I kind of feel that way at the end of this, and there was clearly some course correction, because they do a can they coexist storyline, and the answer is yes. Adam Cole and MJF can coexist. They just came up short, and obviously MJF saves Adam Cole from the Shatter Machine,
Yeah.
and I think that that's all like really great storytelling. But for me, like my initial reaction, and I feel better about it now than when I did even this morning. Um, but I was pissed last night, and then this morning I was bummed out about it. Now I'm cooling down a little bit, and I'm just like, all right. I mean, like it's good because I did like how Cole thought that MJF was going to turn on him. He's like, just do it, man. Just hit me with the belt, and he doesn't do it. And so again, like there was some stuff that I really liked about that. I like that they didn't break up. But it's kind of like, okay, well, are you booking yourself into a corner here where like where are we going where it's I don't know, like it just came off as tone deaf to me, where it's like this is the hottest act of the summer, and it was like flashbacks to when the Acclaimed didn't beat Swerve in Our Glory at All Out.
Yes.
And they course corrected, they did, and they had a great moment in New York at Grand Slam a month later, and that was fine. And like I look back on it, like it was still a great feud and a great moment for them in New York. But I was left sitting here just like it's not that FTR aren't over, but it's like FTR are nowhere near as over right now as
No.
Adam Cole and MJF. And I feel like there would have been a lot of interesting storytelling you could have done to continue this, and you give them that moment, and you could sell more merch, and there were so many reasons to do it. That
Yeah.
like in the hindsight, and again, we're not even fully in hindsight yet, so I shouldn't even say in hindsight. But just like sitting here like a day later, it's like almost it were 23 hours after the show happened, and I'm just like, I'm bummed. Like it just didn't. I don't think that was the right call. I don't think that was the right call at all.
No, I agree. Well, so this is a tough one for me here because I'm a big FTR fan. I'm also a
Mm-hmm.
huge fan of this Adam Cole and MJF pairing. And you heard me last week. We were both saying it that they need to call an audible here, and we both thought that MJF and Adam Cole should have won this match, right? So it looks like they called the audible, but they didn't go that
They didn't
far.
commit to it.
You know what I
Yeah, they
mean?
didn't.
They just said, okay, we're not gonna break them up here, like, but we're not taking the belts off of FTR. And the end of this match for me, I was massively into this. I was waiting for how are they going to pull it off? Who's going to get the pin, Adam Cole or MJF, I was like, where's Roddy at? Is he going to come cost them? What's going on here? And we'll go through it here real quick. So, MJF sets up Dax Harwood for an absolute nut bashing. What did Dustin Rhodes call this when he had somebody in the ropes with their legs spread open?
Shattered Dream.
Yeah, the Shattered Dreams. I mean, he was as close to a Shattered Dreams as you can get. And MJF absolutely does bash Dax Harwood's nuts in, but he only gets a 2.99 on this one. And Dax winds up pulling a roll up, just a normal everyday schoolboy roll up, but he pulls MJF's tights, and Dax Harwood pins the AEW champion to get the win with a roll up. MJF sinks into the corner, almost crying, screaming that he blew it. He blew it. And Adam Cole is in the corner consoling him, like, it's cool, man. It's cool. We just weren't good enough today. Like, I loved the Adam Cole consoling him thing because it really confirmed to me that this story is going to keep moving. But I really wanted them to win, man. Even as a huge FTR fan, I really wanted them to win. And as soon as the ref's hand came down for 3, I was just like a deflated balloon. Like I was
Yeah.
amped up, and then it was just like, I was like, oh man. And it feels weird, like to be a huge FTR fan and like be disappointed that they won a championship match feels very weird in my brain. But
But that's
I was just deflated, you know?
but that's how you know that the wrong people won.
Yeah. But this is one of those
And
times where I would say, let's see how it plays out. And maybe
oh,
in
for
the
sure.
future, I'm going to be like, that was a great choice, you know? But we have to see. So,
And look, like I don't want to completely shit on it, so I'm not going to because there's a lot here that I really like in a storytelling perspective, right? You have MJF, and really, if you look at MJF's character throughout the entirety of the character, like he's a tragic villain.
yeah.
He like he's got so much trauma and so many reasons why he's messed up. You know what I mean? Like from the story about like the girl that I guess he killed
Oof.
in the car, and to like his heroes abandoning him, like CM Punk leaving wrestling, and like he has so many things that lead to this villain story. The William Regal like thing, the Samoa Joe thing. Like there's so many things that like make MJF a tragic character, and for them to roll with it, where it's like MJF did not want to turn on Adam Cole here, like it shows to that tragic character. So like I really love that. Um, where you do this thing where it's like no, MJF did not turn on Adam Cole. Like
Yeah. And
they didn't do that.
the way Cole turned around and kind of just was like, do whatever you got to do, Max. I wasn't expecting that, but I thought it was a nice little
Loved it.
touch. Like, it was like Adam Cole expected him to do it because of all the bad things like Roddy in his ear and this and that. But then when he didn't do it, it was, I really liked that. And then the crowd, hug it out, hug it out. You know, that was great. I loved it.
Yeah, well, I think that it just goes beyond that. So Adam Cole knows that, like, at this point, they've lost the tag title shot. So now MJF has officially nothing to gain. So when Adam Cole, being smart, and again, I appreciate that Adam Cole was not a dumb geek here, where, like, he gave MJF the benefit of the doubt, but he still understood what MJF could do and would do given the opportunity. When Adam Cole realized that MJF is standing behind him with the belt, he's like, I know this. I've seen this before. I know what's going to happen. Do what you got to do. And like, look, as far as like course correction goes, like that was a excellent, and I'm glad that it happened. Like, if FTR was going to win, this would be like the one way to do it, where I come out of it feeling like, okay, yeah, there. I'm disappointed with who won, but there's a lot of good to look at this in a story sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm interested to see where we go from here. MJF is booked for Dynamite to do a promo. He's already guaranteed Adam Cole a title match, which I'm assuming we'll see it All In, maybe, or All Out. I don't know. I'm assuming All In. Um, but yeah, I mean
So,
that's where we're at with it.
so after the show, there was a little interaction with, Dax or with FTR and MJF and Adam Cole, baby. And there seemed to be a little bit more of an interaction with MJF and Dax here. Do you think we possibly see Dax get a singles title shot at MJF at maybe All In or All Out because of his pinning the world champion? Like, you could argue that he deserves a title shot, you know?
Well, I mean, I for one can't believe that a world champion got pinned and he's still the champion. Like, guys,
Oh
what are
my
we
God.
doing? What are we doing here? Why is MJF still the world champion? even though he got pinned. That's bullshit. Makes no sense.
But I thought overall this was a absolutely amazing episode of Collision. Even though I was deflated at the end, I still walked away like, man, that was a great episode. You know what I mean? Like that was an emotional roller coaster from beginning to end. Absolutely loved that episode of Collision. Tremendous. I thought it was fantastic.